Heidi ho neighbors, Rado here, and welcome back to Kamen Rider Climax Heroes, or Super Climax Heroes, I should say. Squeeze the world, Rado. No Greg, but that's okay. We'll soldier on without him, I suppose. As I stated in my introductory video, I'm basically going to be playing through. Each video is going to be a run of arcade mode, and I'm going to be using a different rider for each video. And in this case, I'm going to be using my favorite Kamen Rider Blade. There he is right there. Just going to select him again. He only has a power-up style, but he has two different forms that he can swap between. For not really continuity's sake, what's the word I'm thinking of? Progression's sake. There we go. I'm going to choose, because he can be either in Jack or King mode. I'm going to pick Jack mode, or Jack form. And we're going to start off. So, you may hear the UMD. Oh, and it's starting us already with Odin. Yay. I used to play this game like back when it first came out, and I was really into it. I played it on hard mode, but I did knock it down to normal, mainly due to the fact that I'm very much out of practice. I did practice a bit before I started recording tonight, but I'm very much out of practice with this game. It's been years. That's Odin. He's basically the final boss sort of character from Kamen Rider Ryuki. So the basic controls, as you can see, we can just run around freely. The X button is, or not the X button, the X button is an attack. But the square and X buttons are your attacks. X is weak strike, and no, square is weaker strike. X is a stronger type strike. The circle button is mainly used for finishing or special attacks. You do different special attacks either by pushing different directions or jumping or whatever. Let me just do this real quick. That's my changing my form there. The thing with the form changing, that all of your special rider gauge stuff is done with the analog nub. So just for power up forms, just flick it in any direction and you'll transform. And then if you push. Oh, he did his first. We gotta do this little mini game then, where you gotta push the directions correctly, and whoever wins gets to do their finisher. And I won because it's pretty easy. In order to do your finisher, you mash square and X at the same time, and if you're close enough to hit them, you'll do your finisher. Or if you do, if they do their finisher on you, you'll have a chance to push a button and then do a little mini game to basically do yours instead. The L button is used for rider arts. I haven't shown those off yet, but it's pretty awesome in case of Blade, as we'll see. And the R button, I don't think it does anything in this. That used to be, I believe, finisher attacks, but not now. Alright, we're going up against New Den-O from the Den-O meta series, I should say. He's basically just been in movies and not in the actual show. So we're on the beach level. There are quite a few stages that are basically the stages that you'll see they're all more or less common places that you'll see in the shows. Like they'll reuse a lot of places, and like this beach is a place where they've done it a lot. Usually, my strategy with power-up characters is to build up my rider gauge so that I'll be able to use my power-up form in the second round, and then follow up with my finisher to end it. What climax time is basically once another rider, one of the riders gets down to a certain level of health, it will fill up both riders' gauges, and the character who has an advantage, their theme music will start to play. It's very much an aesthetic thing, I think, is a good way to put it. A nice thing too is if you mess up your finisher that it doesn't connect, it'll only take away half your bar, but you still do have to have a full bar in order to be able to do a finisher. It looks like we're not going to be able to do it on New Den-O this time, but that's okay. I'll show off the rider arts in the next battle here. The arcade mode does get harder as you go along. Another Ryuki rider with scissors. He is crab-based. He has a crab monster that he can summon. This is the classic stadium level. This has been around since the first game. I just gotta be careful with the PSP. I lent this to my friend for like 1.5 years, and I just got it back the other day. And when I took it out of the case, I found out that the battery cover was missing. So I just gotta make sure that the battery doesn't fall out. I'm gonna use the Rider Art on real quick. Whoop. That's the Rider Art. In Blade's case, he dashes forward, and if you push L again when you connect, he'll do the Lightning Sonic attack. But Jack Form's Rider Art is actually pretty nifty, if I do say so myself. I'll show you in the next round. Oh, there's Volcancer, his crab guy. I'm just gonna charge up with some lightning on my sword. That's done with direction and circle. And now it's starting to get... Well, actually, no, R button is block, I think. And that's probably why I've been not doing great. One of my weaknesses with fighting games is I forget to block a lot. I just never think to do it. Oh, it's the reversal thing. That's what the R button is. If they're up close to you, you can do that little shockwave, and yeah. So here's the Rider Art for Blade. You can fly, and you can use the circle button to dive bomb with a lightning slash. So that'll last as long as you hold the L button, or as long as you have Rider Gauge power. I think Jack Form's moves are mostly the same as the default form. I know he has a lot of the same special attacks, so I can still charge the sword with lightning. So let's go in with a lightning slash real quick. I forgot how fun this game was. I actually, back when I was working at one of my older jobs at the game store, I actually was talking with a customer about this game. He was saying, like, you know, fighting games and whatnot, and I just offhandedly said that, you know, not expecting that he would know what it is. I was like, I like Kamen Rider Climax Heroes. It's the only fighting game I'm good at. And he knew what it was, and he didn't. He actually had a very different opinion of the game. Yeah. So that was a nice little conversation I had with him. It was very, I mean, we had different opinions, but it was also a very pleasant conversation. It's always nice to find other Toku heads living in the area. Here's Kamen Rider Oja, another Ryuki rider, because there are 13 Ryuki riders in the game. And even though we have like a fairly decent pool of riders to choose from for my opponents, it does not want to pick anything other than Ryuki riders and New Den-O, it seems. But there are still a few more rounds here. I don't remember exactly how many rounds are in our arcade mode, but hopefully there's not going to be like all Ryuki riders. That would be boring. Damn it. There, Lightning Sonic. I'm going to try to use those a bit more for flair. Otherwise, it's just going to be me, like, mostly mashing the X button. And I think that's why I'm decent enough at the game as it is, because it's so simplistic. I mean, it's not that I can't get into, Oh, damn it. It's not that I can't get into, to complex games, it's just that, with fighting games, I'm not very good at them for the most part.
Climax time!
And I never turned into Jack Form. That was probably a mistake on my end. Oja's voice is very loud. And I lose the round. So what I'm going to do in this case, because we're going into a round 3, I'm going to try to build up my Rider Gauge again and then go into Jack Form as soon as possible. It's just try to stick with my initial plan. Let's power up. Oh, Jack Form, Jack Form. There we go. think we have to power up the sword again. Form change. You can also use form changes like the power up form in order to, well, that didn't even go into climax time there. I was so fast at him. There can even be situations where you can use the, another Ryuki Rider. You can use the form changes as counters. Or, you know, to block or whatever. So we're in Futo, which is, setting for Kamen Rider Double. I think this first showed up in the second game, Climax Heroes Double. And we're fighting Raya, who is another Ryuki Rider. A lot of the Ryuki Riders are very, very simplistic. Like, they only have, like, a few cards they have to deal with. Raya is one of those ones that is extremely simplistic. Like, the only special attack he has is Strike Vent, which allows him to use his whip. And seriously, other than that and the flying kick, that's all he has. Whoops. There. But this is very much a button mashing-y, lock him in the corner with combos sort of game, as we've seen. He brought out his Stingray friend, Evil Diver. I know it's spelled Evil Diver, but A, Raya's not actually evil. He's actually one of the good riders, and B, at least from what I've read, it's meant to be pronounced Evil Diver. It starts with an S sound instead of E, for how it's spelled out in katakana. Here. There we go, climax time. Whoa. Oh, you kicked me out of it, bastard. Here, you can have some lightning slashes. And that. Kick you down. You die to a weak attack. That was a square button attack. That's what you get for knocking me out of my super. Because I'm a very petty man. Alright, now we've got Meteor. Meteor is the secondary rider from Kamen Rider Forze. So he was actually one of the new additions to this game. I'm sorry, I'm just in awe that we're that they're putting us in with a non-Ryuki rider. It's going to take some getting used to. He has a power-up style, I believe, and he changes into his Meteor Storm form. So hopefully we can keep him from doing that. Oh, I took down his block, so that's a nice thing. Oh, he hit me with his rider art. Yeah, one of his things is that he knows Kung Fu, so he does a lot of Bruce Lee kind of kiais. In Japan, Bruce Lee is very synonymous with Kung Fu, even though he didn't really do Kung Fu. He did Jeet Kune Do, which is the style that he created, but still. Oh, he went into Meteor Storm, so this just got interesting. Okay. So hopefully I can whittle him down, get through his blocks, maybe take out his block beater. Well, doesn't dodge all my moves. Hopefully I can get him with a finisher, please. Finisher, please. Finisher. Oh, damn it. I'm trying to push the buttons together so I can do a finisher. Well, that didn't happen. Luckily, though, I am almost at full... Well, he's at full, too, so he's going to go right into Meteor Storm, isn't he? No, he's going to do his Rider Art. There is a way that you can charge the meter. I just don't remember how to do it in this game because they changed everything. It used to be down on the control pad allowed you to... Holding that down allowed you to charge. But because down just means just move around now, and it's different, I think I may actually lose. I got rid of his finisher before I could do it. Use a palm on Rider Gauge. Damn it. And also we have the red life bar thing that a lot of fighting games have, where when you get hit, there's still a portion of where your damage where that's red, and if you don't get hit for a bit, that will regenerate over time. Is there a continue? Yes, continue, please. So let's hope we can move through. I think Meteor may be the boss here. I know it was pretty obvious who was going to be the boss in O's because it was always some kind of Dark Rider. But I think because Meteor is like a newcomer, so like he's a big deal in Forza, so I think he may be the boss here. I know, because I know Forza is also a likely boss, and O's, I believe. Not Wizard, though. I don't think Wizard's won. Then again, this is just all based off of memory, and I haven't played this game in 4 years. So I'm just going to whittle him down the old-fashioned way here. Try not to get too fancy with it.
Round 2.
And just hope we can not get caught in a combo, please. That's another thing that they do a lot. Please, before I die, let's do some damage to him. I don't want him to have a perfect at the very least. He got it perfect. Oh, no, no, no. Now he got it. Okay, then.
Round 3.
Doing swell, folks. He keeps spamming his Rider Art. That's the problem I'm having. Because I guess another thing, this is a little imbalanced. It can be. I mean, they have done a lot of balancing over the different entries in the series, but the AI is also pretty simplistic. And if they have a chance to do moves, I guess like that, because I saw that happened a lot with Oja as well. He spammed his Genocider summon a lot. He hit me with Genocider at least 3 times in that first round. Well, I got it this time. So hopefully, fingers crossed, there isn't another round after this. Maybe I ought to take the difficulty level down a bit. Okay. Alright, game. Who do I have to fight next? Oh, I do fight Wizard. Okay. Well, this is going to be fun. Yeah, I guess it depends on what style he's using. Because if it's just a form change style, it might not be bad. Oh yeah, this is the boss battle music. So this is definitely the Kamen Rider Dragon Knight music, as I called it, because there was oh, he's got power-ups, a dragon. Okay. Back around the time I think Climax Heroes Double came out, they adapted Kamen Rider Ryuki into a show called Kamen Rider Dragon Knight over in America, and they actually took Climax Heroes and made a Kamen Rider Dragon Knight game for the Wii. It actually wasn't that bad. I actually checked it out, and I actually had some pretty good fun with it. And when Climax Heroes O's came around, they actually took all the characters from the Dragon Knight game and made the Ryuki characters that way. But some other stuff that they carried over was like that music we were hearing earlier was during some of the story mode stuff. It was like a new track that was made for the Dragon Knight game, and they carried it over into the into these games as well. So as you saw there, he can turn into Flame Dragon with his power-up style. You also get to see. I did forget to mention the Rouse cards that are in the corner of the screen near my Rider gauge. They're just basically for aesthetics. Whenever I use a special attack, it basically just shows what cards are being used, but it doesn't affect anything. On Wizards, you can tell he has some rings there. Basically, those are the Wizard rings that you have for that style. And when the Wizard driver buckle moves, you know he's going to use a spell. Fine, we'll just off you the old-fashioned, or we can use Rider Art. So, Meteor was a lot easier than the final boss, and in normal mode apparently. But yeah, we got some credits here, I suppose. Apparently, this is supposed to be kind of a this is supposed to be an homage to like an old NES game or something, like an old NES game. I don't know if you can actually do something. Oh, you can. So you can mash buttons, and you can push the dude. I didn't think there was any interactivity here. So let's push him over to the side. Oh, yay, there we go. Either that or I may have just forgotten. And then it just repeats. But apparently that's like an homage to like an old NES game, I think an old Kamen Rider NES game. Or Famicom game if you want to be particularly persnickety about it. Basically same hardware, but whatever. So that was Blade. I'm actually not going to... Is there a way to skip the credits? Yes, there's a way to skip the credits with the start button. Will this take us out to the title menu or the character select? Main menu. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to go back into the arcade mode, and so that was Blade in arcade mode, at least Blade with power-up style to Jack form. And in the next video, I've already basically pre-selected the 3 that I'm going to be doing for this evening's recording session. We will be playing as one of my, basically my favorite Showa rider, Kamen Rider Black RX. We're going to use, he only has a power-up style as well. That's Tag, but he only has a power-up style as well, and you can choose to change between Bio Rider and Robo Rider, Robo Bio. But which one will I pick? Robo Rider. But we're going to do that in the next game, or in the next video. So until then, I've been Rado Goji, and I'll be here next time. Join me, won't you?